Hey everybody, this is Mitch Germain, aka Surrounding Spider Monkey, one half of GermainAnime&Games. Um, Today I will be bringing you uh, the first of several, well, first of all, the first of like several failed decks I've built over the years, and as you'll see, these decks really don't have much of a theme to them. I'll try to distinguish a theme if at all possible, or a strategy, but really these decks don't have too much great going for them, even though I like a lot of the cards in them, I guess. um, First of all, in this deck at least, I've picked out what, 7 of the cards I consider uh, just because of the other cards that are in there. I just consider these 7 cards like either borderline unplayable or just like almost completely useless to the deck. First, we'll start with the cards that really can't be used at all in here. The first card is the Equip Magic card, uh, Sword of Kusanagi. Um, I'll go over the specifics of this card in a later deck that actually makes use of it. But all you really need to know is it's an equip card for spirit monsters, and this deck doesn't have any spirit monsters, so that's why it's in this uh, useless section, basically. And really only allows us to pad the deck out. Next card is the trap card, Aegis of the Ocean Dragon Lord. Um, it's in here because this card works with low-level water monsters, and this deck doesn't have any water monsters. So yeah, it would work great in my water deck, but in this deck, I can't see why I put it in here. I guess these decks were made back when I really didn't have any idea what I was doing as far as deck building goes. So I just put these cards in there because they look cool, not for like practicality or anything. And nowhere is that more important than these next 3. First, Silent Swordsman level 7. The reason I consider him like useless to this deck is simply because I don't have his like lower level forms, so I can't play him in this deck. So yeah, if I worked on this deck at all, which I won't, I'm just gonna say like I would probably take him out of here and put him somewhere else, which I might do, but yeah, this deck just doesn't interest me that much, so yeah, he's definitely leaving if I can find a better home for him. Next is um, Knight's Title. Basically, you can tribute a Dark Magician on your side of your special summon one Dark Magician Knight from your hand, deck, or graveyard. I like the freedom of this card, I guess, and its artwork is really cool, but yeah. Uh, I actually don't have Dark Magician Knight in this deck. I do have a Dark Magician Knight, but I think he might be in another deck or else like in my trunk somewhere. And Dark Magician Knight's effect, I don't know, for just being like just a little bit stronger version of the Dark Magician, maybe. I don't know if he has any more attack points or anything, but for just being like slightly stronger than the average Dark Magician, I don't really like Dark Magician Knight, so yeah. Uh, Finally, we have one of my favorite retro monsters, actually, Magician of Black Chaos. Um, I would probably use him in, like, a full-on spellcaster deck. But yeah, the reason he's here is just like Knight's title. I don't have the corresponding card to make him, I guess. So yeah, I don't have Dark Magic Ritual in this deck. So yeah, that's why he's not being included with the main deck list, or just being like kind of like ousted as, I don't know, useless for now in this deck. The next two cards are useless in the deck itself, but depending on my opponent plays, I can see some use of these cards. I guess they are Defusion and Spring of Rebirth. Defusion just because this deck has no fusions, and so I would need to rely on my opponent having fusions to make any use of it, and um, yeah, kind of, I don't know, just a dead card if I haven't drawn, if my opponent has no fusions, and Spring of Rebirth, this deck has no cards like Penguin Soldier and these spirit monsters, so um yeah. Unless my opponent has like cards like that. Spring of Rebirth is pretty much useless in this deck. I'll go over I'll go over some strategies with Spring of Rebirth when I get to a later deck, though. So, yeah. Now I'll go over my the main cards in this deck, which are slightly more useful, I would say. First, we have one copy of Ultimate Offering. This is probably an error just to um, have like extra uh, extra sacrifices, I guess. Its life point cost is kind of a problem with this deck since this deck doesn't have like a huge way to get back life points, but it can be done. So yeah, this deck has some big monsters I'll need to get out quickly if it helps to have any chance of success. So next is uh, Two-Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress. Just a regular 14 attack, 1200 defense. Next is a slightly stronger Blackland Fire Dragon, only one copy. He's pretty strong, I guess. I consider 1400 and above to be pretty pretty good, I guess. Next is Shallow Grave. Um, this card will allow the deck to get back any of its high defense point monsters easily, or just get back something quick to like sacrifice to play a stronger monster. So I like it. It's a very good card to have in most decks. Next is the regular normal Battle Ox 1700 attack. It's stronger than any other monster so far in this deck, so he's a very good beater. Next is two Urabi, and they're, I don't know, once again, 1500 attack, pretty good base stats. So next we got something to help get those Urabi out onto the field. Baby Ceratosaurus. It can only really target Urabi in this deck, so once again, something nice to sacrifice or save my life points. just in either scenario, I guess. um, oh, got enraged battle ox, and he's not stronger than the average battle ox, but while he's on the field, he can give beast warrior, or winged beast monsters the ability to inflict piercing damage. So that's actually very good in this deck, considering this deck has quite a few beast warriors at least. Uh, Spoilers, I guess. Emergency provisions. You can sacrifice a magic or a trap card to get back 1,000 points per card, and yeah, very helpful with the ultimate offering strategy I mentioned earlier. So sacrifice one of the more useless power trap cards, like say like Defusion or Spring for a Birth, Knight's Title. Get back 1,000 points for each. Mystic Mood. It's an equip card for Beast Warriors, which is always good. This card looks like it's been chewed up by like a Silver Fang or something. uh, yeah, I think I actually got it like that, but it's been like years, so I'm not sure. I actually have a dog, and my brother has a dog, and I swear he didn't do that to it. Next is the Illusionist Faceless Mage. Requires one sacrifice, but has a really good 2,200 defense points. So yeah, as you'll see a bit later when I get to this deck, I have another copy of this card in another deck, so probably a lot more useful in that deck. This card isn't without its uses in this deck, though. As you'll see with this card, Magical Blast. Uh, I could collect 200 points for each spellcaster on the field, which this deck has a few of. So that's good. And if this goes to my graveyard instead of constructing a Marmor draw, I can add it back to my hand. So, I don't know. Every turn, if I can just hold out my defenses, like, I could probably just slowly, like, whittle my opponent's life points down to 0 if they can't get past my defense points. Kind of cheap, I know, but yeah, the strategy is available to me, so I'm going to use it. Mystical Elf, one of my favorite spellcasters, solid 2,000 defense points, and this card is very useful with a couple equipped spell cards you'll see later in this deck on the offensive, so that's pretty cool. Monster board, just a standard magic card. Let's see, we have a monster from the graveyard and face up attack or defense position from either party's graveyard. So I don't know if if this deck manages to say kill, like I don't know if I'm doing Nick and I managed to like kill one of his like I don't know like Black Rose Dragon or something. Like I could just revive it and like seriously like turn the tables, I guess. uh, Skilled Dark Magician. This card gains magic counters for every magic card played, and if he has 3, you contribute him and summon a Dark Magician. And he has 1,900 attack and 1,700 defense, so. And needless to say, he's also a spellcaster, so Magical Blast is a nice card to have with him. So, all around, a really good card. I don't have his counterpart, Skilled White Magician, though. Next, we have 2 Dark Magician. This one is my original copy, and it's faded beyond belief. Almost looks like a synchro monster, which I don't know. It gives me some sentimental value to it, I guess. Kind of looks. It looks cool, I guess. Like my pseudo synchro magician card. um, Another just normal high power monster, Curse of Dragon. Uh, so yeah, another card, like possibly bring off Ultimate Effort. Then we got Reptilian Gorgon. Um, a slightly different effect than Reptilian Naga. The monster it attacks can't switch their battle position. Reptilian Naga, or Reptilian Gorgon rather, can be destroyed by battle, and he doesn't have the effect of he has to switch into attack mode at the end of the turn, so I don't know. You take like less damage, I guess, when Gorgon just crashes into something to petrify it, so I don't know. I like Naga better though, for many reasons. Just another just utility card. Nine catch with the Cure Master, get back 1,000 points. Uh, no reason to. I need to explain why that's in there, I guess. Magic Jammer, discard a card, negate one magic card being used, and destroy it. I've never understood actually why Trap Jammer doesn't have the cost of one card, but we got Collected Power. Um, Not super practical, but I felt like it had enough use to be included, like when I talk about the main cards in the deck, so I like its artwork too. I really liked when Yugi used this against Bakura in the anime version of the Battle Stage Tournament. But the manga version was still pretty cool too, with like want to say he played Monster Recovery instead, and like Chain Destruction. But yeah, I really like this card. This card was actually at one point included in my Serenity deck, just because of its religious theme or a religious like appearance to it. It kind of looks like uh, the Spirit Bomb being created here for like the Dragon Ball franchise, if I'm being honest, which is still pretty cool. Yeah, not much use to this card in this deck, but it has some uses, I guess. Uh, uh Dispel, just destroy a magic or drop it on the field. Um, as you'll probably see, this deck has a lot of cards like that in this deck. So, um, next we got just Tiger Axe, another Beast Warrior. Um, Giant Soldier Stone, 2,000 defense points, so pretty good. Dust Tornado basically works the exact same as Mystical Space Typhoon with the added benefit of like you could set a Spark Trap card for your hand after it's used. Always good. I think I actually prefer Dust Tornado because of that. Now we have another Spellcaster, Rogue Doll, 1600 attack points, Light Monster. Fun fact, Umbra actually used it in the anime, and he's supposed to be like the dark monster user, so that's kind of weird. Now we have Depth Amulet. You can basically discard one card every time a monster would be destroyed by battle to basically save that monster, but this card can only remain on the field for 2 turns. Again, nice card to save your monsters to bring out stronger ones. Release Restraint Wave next. Select one, equip spell card you control, destroy it, and all set spell trap cards your opponent controls, so just another like card to clear the field for attacks at the cost of an equip spell. So if you don't mind losing equip spell, this card is really good. Um, This next card's only in here because of its defense, really. I don't have a lot of a practical use for its effect, but it could be useful. It's Ceremonial Bell, defense power of 1850. Same as Wall of Illusion, but Wall of Illusion has a better effect, I guess. Ceremonial Bell just forces both players to duel with their hands revealed. So kind of like respect play, or like I have to roof out the life point gain for your opponent. Next is the trap card Secrets of the Gallant, and you can select one normal monster you control, and when the monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent discards 2 cards. So very similar to, like, I don't know, the Dark Scorpions, I guess. Almost a combination of Cliff the Trap Remover and Dunslew, but I can touch on cards like that when I actually get to my Dark Scorpion actual deck. Open Magician, another spellcaster, she gains an effect based on uh, monster attributes on the field. Water, control, this card cannot switch. And wind, if this card destroys some opponent's monster, it can make a second attack in a row. So, I don't know, pretty useful, I guess. 15 on attack isn't terrible. This card, Cat's Ear Tribe, another beast warrior. And during the standby phase of the opponent's turn, the original attack of the opponent's monster that battles this monster becomes 200 points. I wish this card's effect was during your turn, but like, because I don't know why the opponent would just willingly attack into this card just to, like, crash into it. I don't know. It could have uses, I guess. I don't really know. Maybe I'll have to research that card a bit more. Heavy Storm, again, a smaller theme of this deck, I suppose, destroys all magic and drop cards on the field, including your own, so be careful when you use it. I don't know. I really love Heavy Storm, especially like when Nesbitt used it in the virtual art arc, and like Yugi or Yami Yugi just like used that to like his advantage to destroy Machine King with just False Golf. Next is Cliff the Trap Remover. Again, he either destroys the Spark Trap card on the field when he takes battle damage, or you can send the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. Yeah. In this deck, it's probably better to go with the first option, just to, like, I suppose, just to, like, keep up the theme of, like, destroying your opponent's magic and trap cards. In any other deck, I would choose the second option, though. Chiron the Mage, 18 attack points. um, I really like this, like, centaur-themed card, I guess. I wish it wasn't used by Noah in the anime, but and its counterpart, Ares, also isn't printed yet and probably never will be, but once per turn, you can discard 1 spell card to destroy 1 spell trap card your opponent controls, so, I don't know. Just more of that general theme, I guess, for this deck. Next is Secret Pass to the Treasures, an Egyptian-themed card, I suppose. A monster with 1,000 or less attack on your side of the field. You can attack your opponent's life points directly, is basically how this card does, so options in this deck are really Magician of Faith, and that's it. not Magician of Faith, Mystical Elf. um, Next is another Beast Warrior, Cybernetic Cyclopean, and if you have no cards in your hand, you can increase the attack of this card by 1,000. So it's if you have no cards in your hand, this card's attack becomes 2,400, which is really powerful. And with cards like Mystic Moon also in this deck and Enraged Battle Ox, this card can be like really powerful. Next is Buster Blader. Unlike the anime, this card doesn't gain 500 attack points for dragons on your side of the field or graveyard. It's just your opponent's, which is unfortunate. Um, Also, unlike the anime, it wouldn't work for like Slifer, the Sky Dragon, or Loin Dragon of Raw, sadly, because they're not classified actually as dragons. So yeah, I actually don't have a Dark Paladin or Polymerization in this deck, so like this card's a little less useful here. But if I ever get my hands on a Dark Paladin, which fingers crossed, I love Dark Paladin, um, I'll probably take this card and Dark Magician out of this deck and just build a deck themed around Dark Paladin, or else just a general like Yami Yugi deck. Um, Next, another useful card to just helpful for sacrifices or just like general advantage, brain control. Unlike the anime, you have to pay 800 points to use this, which kind of stinks, but it's fair, I suppose. And this deck has ways of getting back life points, so it's not that big a deal. It just depends on when you draw it, I guess. uh, Kind of just generic card. Kimura Dragon, still pretty nice though. If they didn't under attack. Next we have Buster Rancher, another Quip spell. Um, this card can only be equipped to a monster with 1,000 or less attack points, and if it attacks a monster, um, hmm, let's see, what does this card do? um, During damage calculation, increase the attack of this monster by 2,500 points only when the monster that battles it is in attack position and its attack is equal to 2,500 or less. Or, no, I screwed up there. Sorry. I'll just read the card effect again. Only when a monster. Yeah. Only when a monster with attack equal to 1,000 or less can be equipped with this card. During damage calculation, increase the attack of the monster equipped with this card by 2,500 points when the opponent's monster that battles it is in attack position and its attack is 2,500 or more. Or when the opponent's monster that battles it is in defense position and it has a defense equal to 2,500 or more. So yeah, not the greatest card, but yeah, once again, also, this card can only be really used with Mystical Elf. Or suppose that cat card. Next is Premature Burial. At the cost of 800 points, you can equip it to a monster in your graveyard and revive it in face-up attack position, and when this card leaves the field, destroy the monster. Not the most useful card, but especially when I have Monster Reborn in this deck, and I should probably have Call the Haunted in this deck instead, but yeah, it has its uses. So yeah, overall, the theme of this deck appears to be like just like uh, stockpiling in my field with monsters, or just enough to sacrifice to summon either Dark Magician or Buster Blighter. Other than that, has a very strong, has a pretty good Beast Warrior theme, I guess, and that's pretty good with cards like Enraged Battle-Ox and Cybernex, Cyclopean, and also Mystical Moon. Um, the other theme of this deck just appears to be just like destroying my opponent's magic and drop cards like whenever I can, which is always useful, I guess. Yeah. From the future here. One thing I forgot to take note of is the fact that this deck's whole theme completely flies in the face of my all-time favorite monster in the entire game, Princess of Sarugi. She, I don't know, she thrives on having the opponent's spell and trap card zone, filled up with cards. So, this deck actually does a massive disservice to my all-time favorite card, so, yeah. Um, Made from the future, Serenity Spire Monkey, whatever you want to call me. Um, Given this deck a 0 out of 10 on the Princess of Sarugi improvement scale. So, practicality of this deck, I mean, it could win a few duels, here or there, I suppose, but I don't know if I ever see myself going back to this deck. So, yeah, that was this deck profile. I guess I would classify this as my, I guess, Beast Warrior, Magic and Trap Destruction deck, I suppose. Yeah, that's a good name for it. So that'll do it for this deck, and we'll see you later. Bye.